But they couldn't, because again, the top principle difference is very simple. Either you believe in your country or you don't. Either you steal or you don't. Either you build something for everybody, or you just build something for yourself. That was our experience from Georgia's transition. So in terms of course, having pointed this picture, it's not that rosy and it's not that simple. I mean, people were suffering a lot. Lots of people are still suffering. In 2007, there were mass rallies against my government, against my reforms, and I had to resign because I said, okay, we resigned after we cracked down. Things were calm. This was organized by a Russian oligarch billionaire. And then I said, okay, now that things are calm, and basically the guy fled the country, and nothing was menacing my power, I said, now I resign and let people decide in new elections what they want. They want continuation of reforms or not. So I cut my presidential term by 1 year. And they voted with slimmer margin than the first time, but they still voted for continuation of the reform. And second time, we had the same story when you have a Russian oligarch who basically had $7 billion, and Georgia's GDP was a little bit more than 20 billions. When I started, as I said, it was around 7, 8 or 8 billions. So actually, it was around 20-something. If you do the same thing what Nigeria did, maybe it would have been much more, but still. By the way, I agree what you did. It's exactly the right thing to apply. But then the guy showed up and said, I have the 7 billions, and this government is telling you you should work. They are telling you should become new Singapore, and Singaporeans work a lot. You don't have to work, I'm telling you. Stay home. I have this village, and he sustained his village for 5 years. He changed their roofs. He gave them 500 euros a month for nothing. He had so-called free hospital there. Said, you see, in my village where 500 people live, everybody lives like that. Now all 5 millions will live like that. And in a still medium income country, lower to medium income, which Georgia was, when I became it, we were a poor country, people go for such promises. And people went and voted for it. But I still believe it's good. Because it's not enough for government to explain people all the time what's good for them, what's bad. It's experience that in democracy does the wonders. Because we already managed to give them 9 years of success and tradition of how it looks, institutions that are strong. Now we have new government that says, we came with a platform, we hate everything that the previous one did. So we came with big platform to destroy not only our institutions, but to destroy beautiful glass buildings we built, skyscrapers we built. They had a long list saying, we'll destroy this 40-story skyscraper, we'll destroy this bridge, we'll destroy this opera theater. They couldn't touch anything. They went after people, that's normal. From such to expect from people with such radical platform, but they couldn't touch a single institution. Police is still not corrupt, customs is still not corrupt, things are still moving, procedures are still fast. Because when institutions already exist, they outlive those who change them. And that's our biggest experience. The experience is that the main legacy of any reform should not be somebody else's personal cult, obviously, because I've seen many people around in my neighborhood, they're building their golden statues and all kind of stuff and calling streets after them. Not a nice experience, because you should know once you are changed, first thing the next guy will do is to get rid of your statues. For instance, there was the opposition in Georgia. We built this wonderful tower. It was private business, private enterprise, beautiful, long, high tower. And they were saying, well, this is, Saakashvili erecting monuments, not maybe to full size of himself, but maybe even to some parts of himself. And I said, well, okay, there are lots of dictators in the neighborhood who do full-fledged statues of themselves. It's not about that. What we are doing is that we are changing something that will be much longer, will not look like us, but will always remind people of us. And that's, I'm sure, what will outlive a legacy of this governor here as well. Because really, It's an amazing plan. Nigeria in general, as a country, it's as, in a way, as perfect as imperfect, as it looks as perfect as human race should look, as imperfect it is, basically. Because everything together, it's really so much human energy. You feel it every second of it when you step on this land. Amazing human energy, amazing euphoric force that can be turned to good. But it really takes leadership to do it. It's very hard to tame it and to ride this wave, but once you ride it, you make it. And I'm sure the steps you are making here, and I saw Governor with what love and affection he was explaining and describing what they are doing in terms of helping agriculturals, helping people to get more energy. And we went through all this and we know what it means. But what I also went, because we went through it, I know that this is not done by technocrats, simply. We got lots of international organizations saying, giving advices to us, like giving advices to us and saying that, like, you should do this, you do that, and we would do the opposite very often. And I remember in 2004, we started our reforms by cutting taxes. IMF told us, we are warning you, we'll stop your program in 6 months, you are doing crazy mistakes. They criticized us everywhere. In 1 year, they published a report saying, we are so happy we supported the government's reform program. And so, my experience is that don't listen to them, listen to your heart, and do what is right. And I saw this here, and I'm sure this is the country of great heart. This is the state with biggest potential in this amazing country. And I envy you because there are lots of challenges, but the wonderful life becomes wonderful when you have to overcome challenges. So good luck with your endeavors, and thank you for inviting me.